Hey y'all, and welcome back to a new video of probably one of the worst games I've ever played. And we'll just get into it. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. Let's just get into it. D4, D5, Bishop F4, Knight F6. Of course, we know what we're doing here in the early game. There's not going to be many mistakes early on, since me and my opponent kind of understand chess maybe a little bit, but as time goes on, you'll see that we do not understand this game in the slightest. E3. My opponent goes C6, and I go C4. Pretty normal stuff. I like this structure after C6 because it kind of just, black has already shown their cards, so I'm going to show my cards immediately. I'm going to go C4, target the center, knight C3 is coming, knight F3 is coming, and then I'm doing pretty good, right? My position is nice, and it transfers into like a Queen's Gambit declined type structure, like a Slav defense. My opponent goes G6, which is a weird line. I go knight C3 because I don't really know what else to do. I thought this move was pretty natural. Bishop G7, knight F3, castles, and I just keep it going with a pretty normal move. I go rook C1, and I'm basically just saying, right, I might want to open up the center at some point, and then the rook will be powerful. Of course, right now, like to people that don't really understand these types of positions, if you have like these two pawns here, you probably shouldn't put a rook behind it. But in this case, I'm going to be opening up the file, and then the rook is going to be coming down, and it's going to be powerful. But we're just going to speed past the opening because there's not much to really say here, and I think that I can probably talk better in later times. After DC, I immediately think, okay, this is probably bad for him. DC doesn't really strike me as the best move, and I don't really spend much time. I just recapture. I didn't see what else I could do because if I waited around, he would play b5, and I don't want to let him just keep a pawn. And here, like, the position looks great, right? My opponent's already made, like, some mistakes in the opening. They have a worse position. I can tell that their bishop is here kind of staring into nothing, and I've got all of my pieces out. All of my pieces out. My king is ready to castle, and I've got the center control. So I know my position is better, and it is. Stockfish agrees with me. Right. After knight bd7, I don't think too long, just castle. Again, this is pretty simple stuff, pretty standard, ordinary stuff. If you haven't castled, why wouldn't you just castle? I don't see the issue. Knight b6, bishop e2. Tricky decision between bishop d3 and bishop e2. I thought bishop e2 was better because bishop d3 kind of looks into this pawn structure, and I thought bishop e2 maybe he'll like try to pin me at some points. Bishop e2, knight fd5, and the mistakes are gonna come right away. Mistakes are gonna come pretty quickly. On move 10, I make a pretty big mistake. What I should do here is realize, you know what, this knight kind of sucks. It's not the best knight in the world. What if I just bring my bishop back? What if I just drop my bishop back? My knight is better than his knight, right? Because my knight can hop over to this square, which is pretty good, and then up to this square, which is pretty good. And the less knights that he has, if I trade my knight right away, which is what I was thinking about doing, and what I played, because I'm an absolute idiot, if I trade my knight right away, he gets his knight back into the position. I have to move my bishop anyway, and now I just have one less knight. My rook being open doesn't really matter at this point because this pawn is kind of a nuisance. And what I should have done, I should have just played bishop g3. And if knight c3, then I can play bc3. And I mean, I saw this, of course. These lines are very, very common, right? And the idea is, I'm just gonna play c4, take more control of the center. If he comes here, I'm just like winning, right? Like c4, I'm winning. Knight has to come back, and look at my position. Yeah, I'm plus 1.2 here. This position is great. This position is amazing. Everything I've ever wanted in this position. All my dreams come true. What I asked for Christmas is this position, and I've got it. But instead, I was a stupid head and played knight d5. After knight d5, bishop g3. Now what I've done is now he has control of the center. This move e4 can be played eventually after his next move, bishop e6. I was thinking about playing e4, but I realized that it wasn't very good because he immediately targets my center, and my center is kind of weak now. I either have to go forward and admit that my position is not very good after like knight h5 or something, or it's just I actually don't really know what else I have to do. I have to play queen c2, and that pawn's not hanging, but it's it's kind of rough. I don't like this position because I can't really advance. This is the move I want to play, right? I want to play d5. I want to go forward, forward, forward. But now my position just sucks. I've said that a lot, but my position just is just bad, right? So after bishop e6, I can't play e4. So I was just thinking, you know what? Whatever. He might want to play this in some positions. I kind of want to play this move, bishop c4 and queen b3, and I don't like that he has this move like knight b5 in some lines. I'm just going to play a3 and stop that. Lazy move. Very, very lazy move. A terrible move, actually. a3 just doesn't do anything and kind of gives him the move back, which he takes to make his first mistake, f5. f5 is a stupid move. f5 is just a terrible move. Oh my gosh, it's a bad move. You know what f5 does? f5 immediately gives me the e5 square. Permanently gives me the e5 square. And now this pawn is weak. And now my position is much better again. Because now I get pieces in the center. I get pieces in the center, very active pieces. And I thought, you know what? What I can do here, I was thinking here for a while. I was thinking, what piece should I go here? Knight e5 or bishop e5? And I end up playing bishop e5. Bishop e5. The reason why this isn't good is because I missed something. I'm pretty sure knight e5 is the worst move. Yeah, knight e5 is worse. The reason why knight e5 is worse, and I'm glad I calculated this properly. I mean, like every high level game needs like a little bit of proper calculation, is because of f4, right? And I thought, okay, if I take with the e pawn, probably this. I probably can't take this because then I just lose my bishop here, but I'm going to lose it anyway. Like at the very least this, and at the very most like this. Oh, that's cool. Bishop d4. Yeah, and then he defends, and I don't actually have anything after rook g4. It looks like I do. It looks like I have something, but I don't have anything. Very interesting position, but still, play like crap. Play like crap. And I gotta keep my position open. So I put my bishop in the center, which I thought was natural. And now, if he takes on e5, then my knight gets in the center properly, and there's no f4, because then I can just play e4, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. The reason why this is bad, again, is because of bishop c4, which is one of my original ideas, right? I was telling you about that. Bishop c4 is just pinning the knight over here. Like if he like comes back or something, first of all, this move, but it just gets really bad. This is just rough. Queen b3 incoming. b5 actually makes more problems for him because I can actually just leave my pieces hanging. I can just go like knight g5, hit the bishop. A bishop comes back, for example. Then I can even just bishop b3. This pawn is weak. My position is beautiful, and he resigns, right? But instead, I just didn't realize how good this was, and I thought that putting a piece on e5 was better, which is stupid, and another mistake happens. Now, my opponent goes h6. This move is stupid. I don't really know what it does, and I don't actually understand his ideas for doing it, because what h6 does, it controls the g5 square, right? I wasn't really gonna go there. I wasn't caring about this square ever, and like in like the bigger picture, what does it do? Maybe he's trying to play g5 himself. That's kind of what I thought, but g5 is such a stupid move. There's no reason to play it, right? Because what are you doing? You're opening up your king, which is forever weak now. My king is safe and tidy in his little home of pawns over here, in his little house of castle, and then he just has positional weaknesses for the rest of the game. So I'm like, okay, well, that's a stupid move. Let's continue with my plan. Bishop c4. I find the move now. Bishop c4. Now I'm going to go queen b3. I'm going to come up here, and my position is amazing. Queen d7, defending his bishop, so then he can move his knight out of the way, and I go queen b3. It's a bad move. It's a bad move. A really dumb one, actually. What I should have done, I should have gone for this line where I just put my knight in the center. And then like after queen d6, then I could probably go queen b3 and my position is doing pretty well. But what I missed, and I missed this again after queen b3, he just goes b5. And now my bishop is gone. My bishop is toast. toast, like the crackers. It's just my bishop is gone. I have to probably trade it for the knight now, which is what I did, because I thought that after like bishop e2 or something, he probably has some like weird like tactics on my queen. I didn't want to allow that. It's stupid. Like no calculation I did in this entire game. It was just all intuition. I was like, oh, my queen is probably in bad position here. I don't want to do that. So I took on d5, and I thought it was forced, right? But after bishop takes, I have to go queen back to d1, defending my knight, so then my pawns don't get doubled permanently. And then like now my position is just horrendous, right? Now everything sucks, and it's just awful. It's just awful. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life, right? Like we don't want these types of things happening in our chess games. And even something like bishop f6, like even something like bishop f6. And honestly, I think black is better here. Honestly, I think black is better here, because now trading this is kind of stupid. He gets the e file open for his rooks, and now his g5 idea kind of works. So what I've been doing this whole game is just helping him with his stupid plan of playing h6 g5 and trying to come at me. And I'm just in a terrible position, and I recognize that. But after rook a c8, I'm already back in the game, because he allows me bishop g7. And after king g7, now I get knight e5, right? Now I get knight e5, which is kind of my whole idea. I'm hitting the queen, hitting the pawn. Everything is weak, and I'm doing pretty well. Oh, oh no. Okay. Just scroll down and I see 8 mistakes, like 4 mistakes in a row. Queen e6, and the mistakes start coming. First thing I do is say to myself, you know what? Your position is bad. You know that. But he has the light squares, right? He has the light squares. You might have a chance of doing good here if you get the queen on the dark squares and get it over here to this weak pawn. And I was like, okay, queen d2. The first mistake. Well, there's been more mistakes, but the coming of the end, you know. Queen d2. Coming over here, I want to get this pawn, right? I want to get this pawn. I don't want to be like hit on the light squares. My knight's still pretty strong. I mean, I have a good position. But the move that I didn't play here was just like hitting me in the face, right? Rook c5, right? Like I'm just better. Like I'm so much better after rook c5. I don't know why I didn't play this move. I think the reason why I didn't play this move, it's such a stupid reason. I thought he could like get my rook stuck in here, which is just the stupidest thing. Like it's so dumb, because my rook gets out, and now his pawns are weak forever, like queen c2 and stuff, like queen c2, and and now I'm just winning. I don't know why I didn't play that move. I really don't know why I didn't play that move. Maybe I just thought it didn't do anything, but it's good. It's smart. It does a lot of stuff actually. It's just such a stupid move, but instead queen d2. Dumb idea. Now his attack kind of breaks him. g5, a miss by him. It's terrifying, but it's another miss because it allows rook c5, and I just win again, because like if he like keeps going down, what is the idea? I can go e4 takes. I'm just going through the line. Yeah, rook e1 here, knight takes c6. Oh man, nice tactics. Like if he can't go there because there, and he's probably just losing here, like this move. Rook e7 check, right? Yeah, rough position, but instead none of that happens, and I'm stupid, and I went with my plan, queen a5. Now I'm attacking this pawn. Only way to defend it is this. Is he gonna defend it? No, obviously not. I didn't think he was either, right? Like, what is he doing? What is he doing? He's gonna come in. He's gonna come in with his pawns. He's got a massive attack against my king. He's got 3 pieces barreling down towards my king with like 0 defenders, and my queen going off to pick some roses on the other side of the board. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I knew that this would happen. I knew that this would happen, and after f4, I'm already feeling the heat. After f4, I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no, that's very, very scary. And what I have to take. In fact, I don't know why I didn't. After this, I can even take on a7. And there's nothing. I can take on a7, and there's nothing going on here. There's nothing here. And I'm winning. I'm winning again. My knight defends everything. He can't take this pawn because my queen now defends the pawn. And everything is defended in my position. I really thought that this was terrifying because he's got 18 pieces. Okay, I'm sorry about the football in the background. That's an American tradition that is not fun. But, you know, lots of people like it. I can't really do that. Either way, queen a7 would be win. All that would be winning, but instead I take immediately. And I'm already terrified. This is scary. I miss his idea. I thought fe3, I'm fine. But for some reason, I missed the super easy, the super common idea, f3. And it's like, it's scary. It's so scary. Oh my god, it's so scary. If I come up, if I go g3, I lose. Queen h3, it's over. It's over. Queen h3, it's over. I give him like one check. King h8, it's over. Knight f3 takes. GG, checkmate. So I can't do that. I can't do that. But what I can do, and what I was thinking about doing is this move e4, coming down in the center. I come down in the center, and what I'm arguing is that after like even bishop takes e4, now I get rook fe1. If he comes back, now I get knight not there. Now I get knight f3. Sorry. Now I get knight f3, hits the queen, hits the pawn, GG, I win. But instead of playing the move e4, I'm like, oh man, this is scary stuff. And I played gf3, getting another mistake. gf3, and what I'm saying is, okay, I don't think it's the end of the world here. I don't think it's the end of the world. Takes with the bishop. Wrong. Cannot take with the bishop. This idea is terrifying. And after bishop takes, my idea is that I don't care that the queen is coming in. And I'm not going to take the bishop. I'm going to wait for the queen to come here before taking the bishop. Because then I think, okay, maybe I have some chances, right? Maybe I got something here. Maybe I got anything here. But instead I don't. Instead, I absolutely do not. What he has to do here, he has to go rook f5, e4 with this fork. I was thinking that he was going to take, I thought this was the main line, but it's not. This loses. He has to go bishop e4, fe4, rook e5 now, and I can't recapture because then it's a draw by perpetual check. I have to go f3, opening up everything. Rook e4 sacrifice, and again, I can't take because it's a perpetual check. And if I go d5, the main move, now he has to go rook a4. No, not wrong move. Rook a. I'm just reading the engine lines, by the way, so it's a little tricky. Rook a4. If I take the queen, rook a7, and it's equal, the only move to try for an advantage is queen c5. Queen c5. Okay. Now, queen f6. Is the best move. Going after this, trying to get it, and going after this pawn, very important. And now after dc6, this is the position that we have to go for. And it's terrifying. My king is like on the ropes here, but Stockfish thinks I'm better. Stockfish thinks that white is better, and white is actually doing quite well. Again, who in their right mind, what human would find this line? What type of human would find this line? Because, of course, an engine could find this line. Engine can find, like, everything under the sun. But what type of human could find this line? Because this is absurd. This is, like, insane stuff. I don't think that probably, like, this crazy line with all these sacrifices after takes. You have to calculate from rook f5 down to this position. You have to calculate from this down to, like, yeah, this move. You have to calculate from this to this and just say white's better. Insane stuff. So that's why I didn't do that. That's why he didn't play that move, and he just thought bishop f3 was doing quite well and like at least a draw. And you know me, I don't want to draw. I never play for a draw. So taking the bishop, that's a draw. There's one way to win here. There's one way to play for a win. Queen d7. X-raying this. And now I'm winning. Now I'm winning. I missed this move. And I play another mistake trying to keep the game going. I play rook fe1. And what I'm saying is, okay, now there's no more perpetual check. I'm getting in the position. I'm keeping everything together. And what's going to happen is that he can't really come here. He can't really come to h6 in the first place because I take this pawn, right? Free pawn. I think that's probably enough, right? You can't do that, obviously. And just watch. First of all, my opponent makes a mistake. Because of course they do. Queen d7 is winning again here, defending this, but I miss it. So I instead take the knight, take the bishop, and now I'm losing again after queen g4 and takes. And what's funny here is that this position I thought was like fine for white. I thought this was like okay, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play rook c2 and I'm gonna defend mate. There's no like checks over here, so this was like fine. He's absolutely butchering me, but maybe I have some chances. Rook cf8. I go queen c5, coming back. I hit this pawn, so then he can't come here. I hit this pawn, but actually I don't, because after takes, he comes in here and kind of wins everything by bringing both rooks onto the 7th rank. So that's not okay. That's not a viable plan. But it's a little thing for him to worry about, and I thought that was the case because I'm an idiot. But instead, queen h3, and he messes up. Queen h3, he messes up. I'm back in the game. And what I can do here, I can just play for a draw. Just play for a draw. Queen g4, king f1, king f1. If he comes back here, then I'm probably doing quite well after queen e5. And I mean the position's fine, position's fine. I have a draw in the pocket, right? I have a draw in the pocket. Yeah, just king back to g1, and I'm fine. Also, I thought maybe this move, but queen h1 here and queen e4, and he's slightly better, maybe. Tough to say, but instead of all that, I play for the win. And I go king e2. And I'm running. I sack the pawn on f2, which he takes. And I go king d1. And now I'm losing the game. Immediately. Immediately after my Hail Mary. Immediately. And it's just... I mean, this could have all been prevented if I didn't start this game. This could have all been prevented if I just didn't play this. But... everything is just bad here. He goes queen g4. I go king c1, and now I'm like, okay, I'm running away. By the way, what I should have done here, I should have gone king d3, which looks terrifying. And like, I mean, what are we even? This looks very, very scary. Even takes. But actually, this is fine after the move rook f1. That's cool. After rook f1, and he can't take this because then I take on e7, king g6. G6, and he has nothing. G6, rook takes f8. It looks like I'm getting mated, but there's nothing here, and he has to go for perpetual check. Crazy stuff, crazy stuff like this. And at the end of the day, king d1, I'm losing again, but he gives me this check. I come to c1. Everything is going swimmingly. And then he makes another mistake. He makes like the 18th mistake of the game. Rook takes c2. And maybe I come back, but instead I do king c2. Oh my gosh. Queen c2 was staring at me in the face. I could have just taken and been fine. I come back, I'm fine. But instead, I allow him with king c2. I allow him. I play right into his hands and allow rook f2. I allow him to get back in. And now I'm just in such a bad position. I'm in such a bad position. Because after here, queen e4, I come over to h1. And now we're just simply rook h2. He's coming in with the queen like this. In some lines, all his pawns are defended. And I have a minute on the clock. And this is not savable in a minute. This is terrifying in a minute. With a minute, you cry and just lose the game on the spot right here. But he doesn't find it. He goes queen e6. He goes queen e6. If I can actually play the moves. Yeah, queen e6. And I know that I'm fine. And I understand. You know what? Is my position really that bad? Sure, I'm going to lose a pawn, right? Or am I? Or am I going to lose a pawn? King b1. Ooh, very spicy mistake that I just played there. Ooh, now he can't come in and win this pawn. Ooh, but he comes in anyway, and now he's going to win the pawn. Now he's just going to win the pawn. I go h4. This is my idea. I go h4. Remember, I'm playing every move very, very quickly now, so there's going to be some garbage going on. h4, right? He can't really take. At least I didn't think he could really take. He absolutely can take because I don't really have anything. After e4, I have like some play. But there's nothing really going on. Instead, he goes g4, which I thought was like a really, really smart move. He doesn't have any weaknesses now, and now he has a pawn 3 squares from promotion. Not good stuff, not good stuff. I play e4. I get my pawn up, right? I get my pawn up. Now he can't give me some weird checks in the future. But now g3. Now g3, and he's 2 squares from promotion. But it's another mistake. But it's like the 18th mistake of the game. And now I kind of rip open everything. I go d5. And what I'm doing, I'm setting a little trap, right? Now he can't go g2 because I win his rook, right? Pretty easy stuff. Instead, and I'm also attacking his queen, right? So he has to do something about it. He takes, and I'm back to a draw. And it's a pretty easy draw. Queen c3, and I pick up the pawn. He has to go like king h7. I go queen g3. He doesn't really have anything. If he takes here, I just win the rook, right? So he can't do that. So he probably has to go like queen f6, and I'm actually like almost winning here. Here I actually probably have to play for a draw, but I could try for a win like this and blunder mate in 1. Yeah, that'd be nice. Okay, I guess I'm bad post game too, but But instead of all that, my opponent takes on d5. Right? He takes on d5. It's a draw, and I go rook g1. Hanging my pawn on e4 with check. You know, words can't describe how much of an idiot I was this game. The reason why I played rook g1 is because, I'm putting the pawn to his king, and now the rook is hanging. Ooh. And this pawn he can take, but then I take the rook, and my position is great. I am up a rook, right? Ooh. Stupid idiot. Oh my god. Queen e4. King a1. And now, what he's going to do, he's just going to win the game. He plays the move g2. And hangs the rook at 1 move. And it's over. We play a couple more moves, but I'm not gonna miss my chance. Oh my gosh. Speaking of one other little thing, I didn't play queen g8 mate in 1, which is kind of funny. I went mate in 2 instead. But oh my god, this game was awful. This game was so horrible. The estimated ratings, let me go to the review. The estimated ratings were 1750 for each of us. with me playing at 67% accuracy and my opponent playing at 62% accuracy on the worst accuracy like I've ever had, like in the past like month or something. This is awful. And I hope I can come back from this. I hope I can come back from this and like try to do better, but this is not a very, very pleasant thing to see. I won the game though. I won the game. 22-23 is a very high rating, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. You know what? At the end of the day, I did some cool stuff. I'm up to 22-23. I'm literally 1 point away from my peak. And you know what? Hopefully I can get there soon. Either way, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you guys found this entertaining, instructive, all of the above. If you did, remember to like, subscribe, do all the normal things that YouTubers tell you to do, and check out my Twitch because I'm doing that. Yeah, that's it. Good evening and good night.